Okay, welcome everybody to another episode of the Navs Effect podcast. I'm your host Naveen Gandlani. Today's going to be a fun episode. Recording this on a Sunday night, October 22, after we just witnessed the end of first round of UAAP men's basketball, Ateneo versus UP. Heck of a game, really fun, really good stuff. So I invited Nico over on the podcast to talk about it. I'm sure you're all familiar with Nico now if you've been listening to the podcast. We're going to talk about what I thought was really a statement win by Ateneo. We're going to talk about the first round of UAP men's basketball, what to look forward to in the second round as well. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Stayed up for this, recording this 11:53 p.m. But
Pag-uwi natin, we
yes,
got
sir.
ate dinner and automatically go. So let's start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all that jazz. And yeah, let's get started. But before we do so, a quick word from our sponsor, the Cleaning Coach.
When it comes to cleaning a home or office, most people just know the basics. Mopping the floor, wiping off dust and dirt is pretty standard. While all that can make a place look clean, it doesn't mean it is clean. Making a place truly clean and virus-free requires a professional help. That's where the Cleaning Coach comes in. The Cleaning Coach provides outstanding general cleaning, commercial cleaning, post-construction cleanup, upholstery cleaning, floor, carpet cleaning, aircon cleaning, and disinfection at a very reasonable price. The Cleaning Coach and his team will do all the scrubbing, dusting, polishing, disinfecting, and sanitizing, so you won't have to. Making your place look clean that you can also smell and feel. You will experience the difference. Now that's stress-free cleaning to a better normal, done professionally by the Cleaning Coach. Contact the Cleaning Coach today to learn more.
Okay, Nico. So, Ateneo beats UP 99-89. They go to overtime to settle the first rematch since last season's UAAP men's basketball finals. I think I really said it in the introduction, it was such a we're the damn champs game from the Ateneo Blue Eagles. And what's so ironic about it is a few days ago after Ateneo beat UST,
Yeah.
Coach Stab Baldwin in the media room was like, okay, yes, it's a finals rematch, but it's a finals rematch because of the names of the schools and the teams. It's not a finals rematch per se because the players from both teams from last season aren't there anymore, right? But the way Ateneo came out today, same roster, same players as they've had all season, the same team that we've seen go up and down so far this season, the inconsistency, some of the issues, but they went toe-to-toe with UP from the start.
Agree.
And that looked like the Ateneo team of the past few seasons where they get a lead, they stay on top, UP fights back, Ateneo hits back, and they go back and forth, and then Ateneo just makes the right plays, multiple efforts. They beat UP in the rebounding department by
It's a big
12,
gap. 12,
57 to
yeah. That's
45.
big.
Yeah. So UP made up some of that by forcing Ateneo into more turnovers, but then Coach Goldwyn of UP after the game was like, when it comes to rebounding, it's not even about X's and O's, it's about effort, right? And I thought Ateneo came out with just maybe a tad little bit more effort than UP, particularly with rebounding, particularly with patience when it comes to executing. I felt the shot quality that Ateneo was getting was really good compared to UP, particularly there in the second half. I felt like UP was going for the home run plays a little too much in the fourth quarter with some of the
Yeah,
quick
last
pull
two
up
minutes.
threes. Yeah, the
Last two
transitions.
minutes.
Yeah, it was like they wanted to knock Ateneo out right away, right? But then on the other side, it felt like Ateneo was going through the process properly, patient on both sides of the floor. And
They look like the veterans. Oh, well, like, nung patapos na, the end game. They
to
look like,
some degree,
yeah.
yeah. And everyone stepped up, right? For the Blue Eagles.
Agree. I
Like you
did.
think about it.
Yeah.
Mason had his best ever UAAP game. Obasa had his best ever UAP game. I thought Kuhn was excellent. Like
He was excellent. Chris
like
Cohn
he's
was excellent.
exactly his points weren't as like loud as like Mason's big daggers in OT or even Jared Brown's 3-pointers or Obasa's defensive plays. But Kuhn was steady. He was hitting jump shots when his team needed it. He hit that mid-range pull-up in OT, which was important. He had those drives to the rim, which I thought were very impressive. The way he was getting contact and finishing with the end one, scoring on layups, attacking the rim. I thought Obasa was Obasa had some really good moments in the post, even against Malik, where he'd use
Yeah,
his
yung fake.
footwork back to the basket, up
Uh-huh.
and under, right? Jared Brown had a huge 3-pointer in OT. I thought Kai Balungay also had some moments there, particularly in the first half. LeBron Nieto, I thought, played solid as well, even in
8
limited minutes.
minutes. Yeah, the 8 minutes
Yeah,
was more than enough to get the crowd
exactly.
going and everything.
Yes. And in his 8 minutes, he had 7 points. He was a +4. UP shot 44% from the field. They dropped, Ateneo shot 44% from the field.
Yeah.
They dropped 99 points on UP. I know it went to overtime, but 99 points against a defense like UP is quite
It's absurd.
impressive.
I
It's
didn't
impressive.
realize na mag-100 na Ateneo nung
Mm,
nag-free throws na sa dulo. Sabi ko, ayaw mo ba tumira? Di ba
diba?
yung hawak na ni Espinosa? Di ba na-steal pa kasi, di ba?
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, is he gonna shoot this three? Because they were like, di ba, when they evolve na eh. I think it's Kupal if he shot that
Yeah,
three.
that would have been a problem if he shot that a 3-pointer at the end. Magkakagulo pag ganun.
Magkakagulo yun, magkakagulo yun.
Ateneo also got 38 free throw attempts. They made 28, so they converted
70.
74% from the free throw line for a team that has struggled from the charity stripe in a few games this season, right? So I don't know, Nico. Maybe it's the UP factor of it. Maybe it's the pride factor of it. Maybe it's the fact that they really got their rhythm going against UST and that carried over to a few days later. While UP naman, on the other hand, was in a tough matchup against LaSalle, and a few days later they play against Ateneo. But what I know is that Ateneo came out in this game with playing like a team with a chip on its shoulder, with something to prove, right? And it's so funny because normally that's what happens for the team that lost the finals the season beforehand. But because Ateneo hadn't been playing so well in the first round and UP was undefeated entering Sunday's matchup, even if Ateneo was the defending champion, it almost felt like UP was coming in as the favorite of the game. And I thought Ateneo just came out there, immediately imposed their style of basketball, made the multiple efforts to garner more possessions, patient again, both sides of the floor. And I felt UP might, towards the end of the game, might have been going for the home run shots a little too quickly.
I agree there.
And it's something that they're gonna learn from moving forward. But yeah, I just what an impressive victory for Ateneo. And that's not to say that UP played bad, because UP played. If
I
you
feel
look
like
at
they
the
were checked. They were
they
checked.
generally they were okay. 42% from the
Yeah.
field.
Hindi nagkalayan sa field goals eh. Parang
seven,
halos 2-3% lang difference.
yes, 7 of 28 from 3-point range, not efficient 25%. 12 of 27 from free throw area is really not good. Yeah, that's 44%. 27 free throw times, only 12 in an overtime game pa. So that's something they'll have to work on. But the rebounding, I thought Ateneo was the better team in that area today. And this overall, I thought Ateneo they were the better team. And unsurprisingly, given their head coach is Stab Baldwin, they came in prepared. They came in ready to send a statement, and that's what they did.
Yeah, that's what they did. And to just add on what you said, I think you perfectly encapsulated what Ateneo did to secure the victory. But like to dwell more on the stats here. Two things that stood out here is the 2 for 11 of JD and Harold being 2 for 10. At times, I would ask my friend, but wala pa si Harold sa floor. And then he was like, bro, nandyan siya. And I was like, wow, hindi ko nararamdaman. Usually pag si Alarcon nasa floor, ramdam na ramdam mo the fear he brings to the court when he's there because of the way he can create off the dribble. In a way, parang hindi ko naramdaman yung 10 shots. Hindi ko siya naramdaman sa floor at most. I'm not sure if you felt it, Nav. There are times talaga na he's invincible. Invisible, rather. Iba
Well,
yung kasi dating CJ Cancino during that game though. He took on all the attention, right? During the game. It was
yeah,
crazy.
not just because of his basketball on the
No,
court.
I'm talking about his basketball skills. This is a basketball conversation.
No,
If
no,
you
no,
want to go,
it's
if,
okay. We can go there. We can
we're gonna go
there.
there. We're gonna go
go
there.
there.
We're gonna go
Yeah.
there as a perspective of someone who likes CJ Cancino ever since nung junior Cubs. Yun ba yung tamang term?
Tiger Cubs.
Tiger Cubs. Junior Cubs. Tiger Cubs. Anyway, pagod na ako. So anyway, CJ Cancino was amazing. This is the first time I've seen CJ Cancino play like that. But anyway, I was talking about JD, right? JD and Harold. Si JD, yung sabi mo yung fourth quarter, I think there were 3 shots na medyo na feel like napilit niya. And then when they were tied against Ateneo 80 all, he drove, 'di ba? He drove. And then I paused the video and then Rayland was open in the right corner. So I think the JD of old could have found Rayland. Not sure what the game plan was there. But medyo questionable yung decision making niya. Just like what you said in the end game. Not him specifically, but for me, I'm saying it specifically siya. But UP could have taken the game away in the fourth quarter. Natakot ako doon. Sabi ko, oh my God, this is how we lose. This is how Ateneo loses. By UP execution and coming back from the dead, like being the cardiac UP that they are.
They did classic UP, and at this point,
Classic
I
UP.
think
I would say classic UP if they won by 2.
Yeah.
I'm like,
at this
Of
point, it's
course.
almost like inevitable sometimes, no, that when you're up like 7 or a certain amount against UP, they
Gone.
will come back.
30
diba?
seconds. Gone.
So a few things happened there. First, I thought that until the final minutes, Francis Lopez was having maybe his most inefficient game of the
Yeah, he
season.
was. Yeah.
He was scoreless. He had 4 fouls. He had foul trouble, and then he had a big 3-pointer that started UP's run. He had a beautiful like reverse layup on the amazing pass by JD that cut the lead to, I think it was 2. And that really woke up the UP crowd. And then Raylan Torres put back, tied the game. Game-winning shot. JD had the chance. Obasa makes a great defensive play to block it. And then Ateneo gets a rebound. Kuhn loses it. And I thought CJ maybe had the opportunity to throw a go-ahead pass to Kagulangan on the break for a layup, but CJ did a pull-up instead with about 2 seconds left near half court. Going back to your point about Harold, so looking at Harold's stats, 2 out of 10 from the field, -5, 0-4 from downtown. Harold Alarcon, 5 points. It was also him who was guarding Jared Brown in that first 3-pointer that Brown hit to open overtime.
Oh yeah,
And
siya kayo nandun kay Jared, no?
yes, sir. And it was also him guarding Kuhn when Kuhn hit that like mini step back in overtime also. So Harold, who's typically a good defender in those sequences, also wasn't able to contain the Blue Eagles he was guarding, which happens, right? Even great
Which
defenders.
happens. I mean, good offense always beats good defense. Alam na
yeah,
natin yan.
yeah. Just looking at the rest of UP as well. Jerry Abadiano, I thought, had a great game. 12 points,
He
5
did
of
it.
10.
I agree.
Yeah.
Was it by design though? You think Ateneo allowed Jerry? Because whenever Jerry has the ball, hindi yung best defender yung sa kanya. Usually it's Ateneo's not the worst defender, but not the main guy. Even though nag-iinit na si Jerry. Do you think Ateneo allowed him?
I don't think that
It's
was
more
by
of
design.
yeah.
I thought Jerry was just playing really well. And he was playing also really well in that last game against LaSalle. I thought Mark Belmonte also played well.
Mark
9
Belmonte.
points, plus 8 in 18 minutes. Should he have played more in the second half? That's an interesting conversation.
He could have made he could have been a big factor.
Yes.
Did he play in OT? I don't remember. Do you remember him in OT?
I don't
remember him.
But
sa replay, wala eh. Yeah, wala siya dito sa replay.
Yeah, but okay, so let's look at some of UP's games so far in the first round, right?
Yeah.
So they open the season, they win against Adamson. That's a blowout win. By the second half, they blow away with the win. And then a few days later, they take on UE. They're up 32-9 by the first half, right? So UE comes back, cuts the lead to like 11-9, somewhere there. But UP has such a big lead that at that point, they can just really run away with it, right? After that, they faced...
Although yung UE, magkasama tayo nun. Sabi ko, Nav, 11 na lang.
9
na lang. Di ba?
But,
pero, sasabi ko lang na how big leads tend to dwindle sometimes when they're coasting. Yeah.
So their other games, they face NU. NU is up early, and UP blows them out in the third quarter. They also blow out UST. There are 3 close games, UP, this season so far. FEU, which they won, but it wasn't exactly like the most convincing close win. Right?
It was like a...
Yeah, it was like okay, we escaped that win.
Yeah.
Diba? And then they face LaSalle. They make an epic comeback. They limit LaSalle to just 3 points in the third quarter.
That was amazing. That was masterclass on defense.
That was a great defensive effort by UP. It was also a putrid offensive effort by LaSalle. It was a mix of both. But then LaSalle comes back also late in the fourth quarter. and they had the chance to win that game. Diba? But UP is able to close them out. Jerry's able to make an open jump shot because Mark Nonne gambles in a steal. And again, now here against Ateneo, they're in a close game against Ateneo. And they almost pull it off. They have a chance to win the game. Final possession, aren't able to do so. So the close games now, they're starting to pile up for UP. This is 3 close games in the last 4 outings.
Yeah.
So will this be good for them? I think when it comes to the later point of the season, it will. It might be good for them to have more close games in the second round compared to more blowouts, because when you get to the final four, when you're facing an Ateneo, a La Salle, or an NU, or even an Adamson or a Jerome, you might find yourself in these close game situations and you want experience. Who do you get the ball to? Because the last 2 seasons, late game situations, okay, get the ball to Xavier, get the ball to Carl. Those are your 2 most reliable
Yeah.
guys, right? The scorers to win you the game. So is it going to be Rayland? Is it going to be CJ? Is it going to be Harold? Is it
Daming
going to be
options, though.
Belmonte? Yeah,
It's a
so
lot of
you
options.
gotta figure out almost like a system or a dynamic when the game is close, right? And for Ateneo, on the other hand, they've been in quite a few close games. At this point, they were in a close game against FEU. They were in a close game against La Salle in the
Siya,
fourth
mas madami
quarter.
atang close game. Tambakan.
Exactly. They were close game
UST
against
lang tinambakan nila
Adamson. Tinambakan nila UST, correct. They were
Yun lang.
in a close game against UE. They were in a close. They
Lasal,
were
close. Lahat
eh,
close.
and you blew them out. But other than that,
Oh yeah, they got blown out there, yeah.
they got blown out by NU. They blew out UST. But other than that, FEU, Adamson, LaSalle, UP, I'm missing one
Close.
school right now. Adamson.
They
Yeah.
lost. That was
So
close.
it
No,
was
it was
close games.
yeah, they lost. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
heartbreaker.
It was close games. So now that, and they've played a few overtime games at this point. This was their 3rd overtime game in 7 games.
3 times the charm.
Right? And they figured it out. And you saw now that when it came to the close game stretch there in the overtime period, you can, I guess, say, okay, yeah, Mason makes 2 really good shots against Francis. But I also think being in so many close games early in the season, there was a comfort level there for Ateneo tonight against UP. And that's not to say that UP didn't match it, because UP still like went toe to toe with them until Ateneo pulled away in OT. But I thought that all these close games now, it's really helping Ateneo. And there's a chance we see them take off in the second round.
Yes, I agree. I was telling my friends that a while ago na this could be the real launch pad to heading into the second round, considering that the first has been kind of shaky, but this is the win that they needed. Sobrang wild nito, considering that this is Mason's coming out party. Actually, that this is his coming out party. We'll be seeing more of Mason from playing sparingly against Lasal. Yung Lasal parang magic bunot yung vibe niya dun, di ba? Because he only played like 11, 12 minutes during that time. Dito talagang iniwan siya, binabad sa OT. And I thought that Francis would, not lock him up, but contain Mason. But Mason was like, parang Ateneo used Mason differently in this game.
They started him.
And the way he played. May mga off the dribble siya, may mga post-up game siya.
Yeah. There was some versatility. And I think that was more Mason than Ateneo. I think that was...
You think so? Like,
I think
okay.
the UST game the other day was really important for Mason, because he had 15 points in that game despite playing limited minutes. But he was playing with such a good flow and rhythm that I thought that would carry over to today's game, and it did.
Oh, okay.
And you saw Mason parang... Look, Tab Baldwin said this. I've said this in my podcast a lot of times. We sometimes expect new players who come to the UAP to dominate right away. And sometimes it does happen, right? But particularly for those who come abroad, there is an adjustment period. And Mason has gone through that adjustment period. And you have to get to that point where you're comfortable with your game, playing within the team system, to really show what you're capable of. And today, Mason Amos looked comfortable against arguably the best defense in the UAP. Again, with the best defender in Malik, right? And he was bringing out the whole package. He posted up Briones, got an end one. He was making tough fall away 3-pointers in the second half. He was going 1-on-1 against Francis and was scoring. And gotta give kudos to him. he also said in the press conference after the game, Nico, he was like, my defense was horrible to start the season. He admitted it, and he
Alam niya,
knows,
he's aware. Yeah.
he's aware. That's why he was self-aware. Like he's aware that that's why he wasn't getting minutes, and he's aware that's where he has to keep improving if he wants to get those consistent minutes in round two. So the first step is knowing, and it seems like he knows this. And the offensive game is there. We know the offensive game is there, right? It's always been there. It's always gonna be there. He's a natural scorer. If he
Natural
can,
score, yeah.
yeah, and his defense isn't great yet, but if he can stay playable on the court and aggressive, that's such a game changer for Ateneo. Along with Obasa, because I think there have been some games where Obasa has looked great,
Disappears.
then
Disappears.
some games where he disappears. He seems to get up for the big games because he's played well against LaSalle and UP. This is just what he needs to do, score near the rim. If he gets post-up opportunities,
Soft
take
touch, no?
advantage,
Ang
soft
soft ang
touch,
touch niya eh.
nimble yung paa,
Ang
good
nimble.
footwork,
Well,
yeah.
the footwork sometimes gets a bit off balance. I think he needs, di ba?
Yeah. But when he has space in the paint, in the post,
Oh, yeah.
then you can see him really
Just start mo
operate
na.
it. Yeah. And then the shot blocking is great. The
That's
defense,
I think on point ata. Did
the
you see that?
defense
The
is
shot
solid.
blocking.
5 blocks today.
No, I mean
5
like
blocks.
heading into the UAP season. Did you see? Kasi
A
when he
little
was
bit.
packaged as he was the guy na more offensively polished. Entering the summer, defense needs work. Yun yung nakukuha nating comments regarding Joe when he replaced Ange. Pero dumating siya sa UAP, yung mga blocks niya ang taas I think he's averaging 3+.
Yeah.
You think?
Let's double check that. But we did watch him sa Pinoy Liga, remember?
We did.
And
parang sacks lang, di ba? Like, okay, it's Joe.
It seemed like he would have good potential as a shot blocker, diba? But then also
Iba yung sa UP.
the question was, would he get the timing and would he be able to stay out of foul trouble? And he's been able to do it so far. Ateneo needs that from him also.
Foul trouble siya kanina, di ba?
Foul trouble ba
He was
siya
foul
kanina?
trouble a while ago. He only played 16 minutes. Yeah, imagine mo, he only played 16 minutes. He had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks. That efficiency. Like, what? Can you just imagine if Joe played at least 25?
Jeez.
Diba?
I mean...
So, grabe. Like, kanina sabi ko, he was still effective.
Okay, so Obasa, first round, averages 9.9 points a game.
So where do you see that? Can you link that to me? I don't have the averages
9
also.
rebound, 9 point... Okay, so wait. 9.9 rebounds, and yes, I
Yeah.
will send this to you. 9.7 rebounds, 9.9 points, 1.4 assists a game, 3.3 blocks a game for Joseph Obasa.
3+.
Exactly. So the defensive acumen is there. And if he can keep that offense up, then he's going to do well. I mean, and look, great win for Ateneo. Great statement victory. And it's just such a confidence booster. They are the only team who beat both LaSalle and UP. They are the only team who beat UP. First round. They're 4-3.
Streak busters.
They're 4-3. Now, Coach Tab said after the game, listen, if we can't back this up in the second round, it doesn't mean anything. But even he knows that this was a character-building win. And it was. And the boys are going to be confident. They're going to go into the second round confident. And guess what? We might get UP Ateneo right away on Wednesday to open the second round.
I think I'm hearing rumors na Sunday, right? I think they're planning to move to Sunday.
Well, if it's interesting, I guess we'll see.
You think?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they moved it to Sunday.
Oh, Wednesday. Gotta see you. Wednesday. I know. Tayo rin makikita.
Well, grabe. I mean, if the formula is gonna be followed, but it should be like Wednesday, although it wouldn't surprise me also if they did move it to Sunday because it is a marquee game. It is a finals rematch. They haven't released the schedule yet. So I'm guessing that's going to be out Monday. So by the time this podcast comes out...
this morning?
I think Monday morning or like afternoon. So by the time this podcast comes out, maybe it's out already. So let's see if they'll stick with that. But yeah, and for UP, 6-1 after round 1, it's still a great record. And their one loss was a game where they went to overtime, a game they could have won in the final possession. Coach Goldwyn said after the game, they need to work on consistency. CJ Cancina, I thought, had a very interesting take on the game too. And he said na parang, what he indicated was they had been playing kind of like this the last few games. Not exactly like not flawless basketball. They weren't exactly playing up to par with where they want to, but because they were winning the games, there's almost like a human and natural reaction
Okay
to,
na, bahala, okay
okay,
na.
yeah. I mean, panalo naman, 'di ba? Panalo naman. So, we'll be better, pero panalo naman. But when you lose a game finally because you've been playing like that, then that's really where the wake-up call comes. And
Scary.
see CJ
It's scary.
CJ's words were, hinihintay kaming sapakin bago kami yung sumapak. Now, I'm sure some people will take that quote and run away with it, whether
Siya yung main topic of this evening. He is the main
eh,
topic of this evening. But for
okay,
me, I didn't take offense to it. Kasi
no, there's nothing
that's
wrong
part
with
of
it.
basketball For me, that's part of basketball
Nothing wrong with it eh.
Siguro pag kay Coach Tab siya directly tumingin, so gumanon, yun yung bastos. Pero pag sa crowd, gumanon
Yeah.
lang. I mean, it's part of basketball. For me, it's part of basketball.
No, I agree because like I'm there
I didn't
almost.
react in the moment. I was like,
I mean, yeah, I'm there
good,
almost every
okay.
UAAP game, and for 10 years I've covered the UAAP, and how many times have I heard people in the crowd shout at players, "Hoy, putang ina mo, gago ka, ganyan, ganyan." I mean, and then we're gonna get mad if like a player decides to like do a
Ganun nga lang.
gesture.
Yeah,
Diba?
for me,
It's part of basketball, right? Like if someone from Ateneo did it to the UP crowd, it would be okay also. If someone from a player from
they're also
yeah, like they'd also get mad, and that's part of the game. And you know what? If you do that kind of gesture and you lose the game, well, you're gonna hear about it, and that's probably what's happening now. CJ's probably seeing comments on social media about it, and he's hearing about it. So I don't
yeah,
know. I think it's nothing to like really go over the top about. It's part of the game. And you know what? Sometimes it
yeah.
makes the game fun. Diba?
It
Sometimes,
is. It is. CJ's always been though, like in his feelings in a good way. Like he really gets into the flow of the game when he's having fun. Kita-kita mo sa mukha niya.
yeah.
Unlike Sky Balungay whenever he makes like a thunderous dunk. Straight face pa rin, balik sa kabila. Sabi ko, this guy's a robot.
Oh, Kai is awesome. Oh,
Di ba?
there's something I should add too. There was a certain prominent figure
Okay.
from the KBL there in today's game. Tonight,
Ooh.
Sunday's game.
Ooh. Wait, does Sky qualify? Who qualifies from Ateneo?
Okay, I'll tell you that off the recording. I won't tell you here because I
Sige.
don't want people
Sige.
I don't want to be
Off,
aggregated in that regard, di ba?
off. Okay.
But
Also
what?
send me, but hindi yun off the record You send me the link. I need to have
Yes,
averages also. I don't
yeah,
have
I
the.
will for sure. But yeah, so
Okay,
just
sige.
the
I'm gonna take
Koreans,
note of that off the record.
the the
Go ahead.
Korean.
Go ahead.
He's not a scout, but let's just say he is someone who works with Korean basketball. And let's just say it's about the
Okay.
time where there could be interest in Filipino players. I feel based from, okay, I'm not reporting this, okay? This is just my estimation.
Yeah.
I think there were two players in particular who might be people of interest for a KBL team or two by the time the UAP season ends. And that's where I'm gonna leave it for right now.
Ilan per like one per color?
No. I'm not getting there yet. I'm not getting there yet.
Sige, off the record na, sige.
Let's just say two players from tonight's game. Yun lang muna.
Sige.
Yun
Okay,
lang
sige.
muna.
Cyrus Torres? Technically, today's game yun. Wag mo ko rin. Nick
Oh my god.
Cabanero? But actually, Nick played well, right? Nick played well.
Oh, so okay, there is something I could share about Nick Cabanero when it comes to
Go. Napunta na tayo kay Nick.
international. Oh, by the way, shout
Pwede na
out to
ba?
the
Baka
shout
madali
out to the
tayo.
USD Growling Tigers and then the
Finally.
19 game losing streak. Nick Cabanero was awesome against FEU. Now, international teams have become aware of Nick Cabanero's talents.
Yeah.
They know what he's capable of. The question is, okay, is Nick playing well and getting his stats because he's almost like the main guy for a team that needs him to be the main guy,
Okay.
right? So I have heard someone who has, like I said, ties to international possibilities. And I have heard the question asked, okay, can Nick do what he does if he plays in another team with other talented players and he won't have the ball with him all the time? Now, personally, I think the answer is yes. That's me. I personally think the answer is yes. He can adjust himself to whatever role his team needs him to be. But that is the question right now that some international squads may be having of Nick.
Well, it's warranted. I mean, last season pa, di ba? Nagkaka-interest siya. So, I feel like just giving him the right shooters, the right talent, feel ko mas magbo-blossom pa laro niya.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in Caballero as well.
1,000%. 1,000%. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear some words from our sponsors, Get Blued and Green Blooded. And when Nico and I come back, we are going to review the first round while looking forward to the second round. Be right back. Calling all Ateneo fans. UAAP Season 86 is upon us, and the roar of the crowd is about to fill the air as the Blue Eagles gear up to defend their throne. Are you ready to be the sixth man and fuel their journey to victory to keep the crown in Loyola Heights? We know you bleed blue, and now it's the time to show it with pride. Get Blued is here to help you do just that. The brand new collection of Ateneo gear is hotter than ever, and it's the perfect way to display your unwavering support for Team Ateneo. Let your wardrobe do the talking this UAAP season. Wear your pride, stand with the Blue Eagles, and be part of the winning tradition. Don't miss out on the excitement. Join the Ateneo community in cheering for victory. Get ready to soar with the Blue Eagles and get blue. Attention all Animo faithful. UAAP Season 86 has arrived, and it's time for the DLSU Green Archers to reclaim their spot at the pinnacle of UAAP basketball. The battlefield is set and the roar of the crowd awaits. Are you ready to keep the Animo spirit alive? There's no better way to show your unwavering support for the Green Archers than by sporting the finest LaSalle apparel, and that's where Green Blooded comes in. They are your go-to destination for all things green and white, designed with passion and precision to help you stand out in the sea of fans. Ready to gear up for success? Simply visit Green Blooded online to explore their latest collection. Whether you're a student, an alum, or simply a devoted fan, they have something special for everyone. Get ready to cheer the Green Archers back to glory. Let your passion shine through your apparel and fuel the Animo spirit with Green Blooded. We are now back. So, we're recording this right now, 12:13. I have a feeling that I'm going to come down with a little something tomorrow in terms of probably some exhaustion, not feeling so well.
Dude, I'm feeling the same way right now.
Right? I can sense it. Yeah.
The flu, it finally reached us.
But before I continue, I want to shout out to our guy Kirk for getting me this amazing butterscotch bars from Iloilo.
I thought it was gonna be a sponsor, not gonna lie.
No. Let's just
I thought it
say
was gonna be a sponsor.
So last time na Kirk got me this from Iloilo, inubos ko kaagad in one day. Sinabi ko sa kanya. So this time around, he got me a bigger bag and sabi niya, parang hindi mo naman maubos kaagad. So,
Is it perfect with coffee? It's perfect with
oh
coffee.
my God, when you dip it in the black coffee, bro. Woo!
Pingin ako niya. Can you send me some tomorrow?
I got you.
I'm sick, man. I might rest tomorrow, not go out. So that by Wednesday, ready na tayo ulit for another UAP day.
Oh, if Ateneo UP yan, you need to be ready 1,000%, di ba?
Wala na akong boses.
But yes,
I'm speaking for my diaphragm.
Shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Varsity Lifestyle also. They
Varsity,
now
let's
have
go.
t-shirts for the UAAP, not just school-centered, so UAAP shirts. So go check them out at the arenas. Shout out to Kirk. Bumalik siya from Iloilo, and he watched today's game. And let's just say he probably ended up very happy about the result. Okay, so
He saw me right after the game. Sabi niya, what just happened?
and he's Kirk voice, yung parang,
Yeah, yung
what just happened?
Oh, parang sa akin pa voice, what just happened?
He was very happy.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
Actually, my message is sa akin sa Messenger. I haven't opened it yet. I'm excited to open it after this recording. But okay, so first round. What do you think we should do? Should we go through some numbers or should we just talk about Okay, I'm just gonna go through some numbers
You're the
right
captain, bro. I'll
now.
take wherever you lead me.
Okay. Team rankings, overall defense. Number one in points allowed, NU Bulldogs. They're allowing 67 points a game, tied with Adamson, actually. Points allowed, yeah. Tied with Adamson. And ironically, Ateneo is second to last in terms of points allowed.
So their defense must be so bad. Like the
But
defense must be, yeah.
But they're number two in points scored. So they're still outscoring their opponents just in higher scoring games. UP number one in points scored. Field goal percentage. Wait, these are defensive stats. So let's look at some offensive stats muna. Para more exciting muna for now, diba? Team rankings. Okay. UP number one in the league in scoring. Let's see, field goal percentage. NU is the most efficient team in the league at 45% from the field.
Really? They
Oh,
score,
yes.
taas efficiency nila.
Yes, number two, UP 40%. 3-point shooting. Ateneo, number one in the league. 31% from 3-point range. And you saw how that could be very dangerous to an opponent in the game against UP. Let's see, points in the paint, UP number one. Free throws, Ateneo is the best when it comes to converting free throws, not percentage-wise, made in a game. UP and Ateneo are tied as the best rebounding teams in the UAP. LaSalle number one in assists. That's the
Wait, Ateneo's not
Evidendi
number one
factor.
in rebounding. It's tied with
It's
UP.
tied. UP and
As
Ateneo
of
number one.
even after this game.
Yes, yes,
Oh
yes.
wow, it means ano
After 7 games. LaSalle isn't far behind them also. So those three are,
they have the best front lines, those three. That's why
yeah,
hindi talaga magkakalayo.
yes. So those three. Turnovers, FU average. So NU has the most turnovers per game in the league at 19. Ateneo is the second most. When it comes to turning the ball over, they have the second most per game at 19. Fast break points, UP number one. Second chance points, UP number one. Turnover points, UP number one. Ateneo starters score the most points in the league. UP's bench scores the most points in the league. UP number one in blocks. Ateneo number two. UP number one in steals.
Who has the least bench points?
Least bench points. Okay, UST.
US? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
UST. So those are the statistics. Of course, when we look at the team standings, UP number 1, 6-1, NU number 2, 6-1, Ateneo number 3, 4-3, LaSalle number 4, 4-3, number 5, Adamson
Oh,
3-4.
let me interrupt you.
Go
If
lang.
if FEU won kanina, the standings would have been way different.
Yeah.
Right?
It would have been Adamson and FEU at and UE. No.
No, Ateneo will be 5 ata if FEU won. I think they'll be 5th. May magpo-4th eh.
No.
Hindi
Ateneo
ba?
would have still been 3 because they're 4-3.
No,
Diba?
no. 4, oh nga no, 4 and 3.
Yeah. So Ateneo and
Oo.
LaSalle are tied in 4-3.
So, FEU, if they won kanina.
They would have been 3-4.
Okay. So, hindi masyadong mag-change.
Yeah.
Pero
So,
sa bottom yung magkakaiba.
yeah.
Yung
So technically what we talked about, remember, Nico, when we did our preseason preview episode, we were like, okay, there's UP, Ateneo, LaSalle, and you, and then there's everybody else.
yeah.
It was a little murky at the beginning because Adamson was, pretty good, UE started good, FU started bad, but now you're seeing it normalize a little bit, right? Where the top four, they're kind of starting to build a cushion. And let's see how the rest of the season plays out. Let's do random questions, okay? When you talk
Game.
about the first round. So who's been the most impressive team so far for you in the first round?
For me, it's NU.
Mhm.
NU has with the way Coach Jeff Napa has made them to be put in this position, they're passing the test.
Yeah.
And by the stats that I heard a while ago, wala kasi wala akong visibility sa mga averages na yun. But now that you said it, they have the qualities of a team that can make it to the finals as well. They have it. They have the bench, they have the superstar role players that Coach Jeff said.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also a team that no one should brush off. I'm sure no one's brushing off NU after the first round.
And also, Jake Figueroa is really stepping up.
Yeah, that guy as well. Is
He's
Jake Figueroa came in the same class as JLC?
no. Figueroa came in season 84 ata. If I'm not, yeah,
Really?
season
He's that
84.
young?
Yeah,
I would think,
he was
dude,
an
I would think,
MVP in high school for Adamson.
I forgot. It was up to now, magugulat ka na lang may 17 and 10 na si Jake Figueroa. Ganun,
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
That's how he plays.
And Kian Baclan, Steve Nash Enriquez, Palacielo.
What I love about Kian, he's facilitating the ball more. He's doing the other things. Like, okay, his shot is not falling. I'll help out in the other stats.
Yeah. Omar John is an underrated FSA. Um, Patrick Yu is playing very well right now.
Don
Don Lim is
Lim.
solid off the bench. Yumamoy hasn't even really like exploded, but he's solid when
He's
he's
getting
coming in
there.
game. He's
He's
getting
getting
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, NU is legit. I think UP is still the most impressive team so far. I think you have to give it to UP because of their overall body of work. Their one loss this season, a team literally had to shoot very well against them from the field, from 3-point range, from the free throw line. The team had to out rebound them by 12, and the team still needed overtime to beat them. I think that shows to me that UP's margin for error is actually pretty wide in
They have
terms of how and UP didn't shoot the ball well from the free throw line, right? They were 12 of 27, like we discussed.
44%.
Very bad
Sama.
for an overtime game. Yeah. So the fact that so many things went Ateneo's way and UP struggled and UP still had the chance to win in the final possession, if you think about it a certain way, then you're like, oh, that would have been an impressive win. Diba? But of
Cardiac
course,
UP.
Cardiac UP, yeah. So I think UP has the widest margin for error because of their overall depth and talent. I think NU is the most disciplined team in the UAAP. I think NU is the team that will hunt for the best possible shots, will play defense. Their turnovers are a little bit concerning, but they won't beat themselves. And when you look at the NU coaching staff, there's so much wealth of basketball knowledge. Coach Jeff Napa, assistant coaches, Shotang Kinsen, Coach Capasio, right? And there's
Hindi sila
veterans.
nagbabanggaan. Ang ganda ng chemistry
Yes.
nila, no?
Yes. My clear pecking order.
Oo.
I guess my one question for NU, which was my same question for NU entering the season, was okay, aside from Kian, aside from Steve Nash, will you have other guys you can rely to parang get you a basket late in the game, right? Let's say NU was in overtime against Ateneo today and Mason Amos is going off, hitting step back jumpers. Jared Brown is hitting 3-pointers. Okay, what's NU's parang ano yung kontra ng NU? Are they going to go Kian, Omar John pick and roll? Kian figure it out? Will they go Jake Figueroa post up? Will they go Steve Nash Enriquez coming off handoffs? NU was in a close game against Adamson. The only other time NU was in a close game against a contender was against DLSU. Diba?
Yeah, that's the great
That-
one.
that
Another
game against-
classic.
That game against LaSalle. So they were down 3. You makes a big 3-point shot to tie the game. And then in OT, KQ sets out. NU makes a couple of big plays. Steve Nash Enriquez hits a big layup. I want to see how NU does in more close games against contenders. But then again, also, if they're defending you so well that they don't need to be in close games, then that helps, right? But I think they're going to find themselves in more close games in the second round when they take on Ateneo again. Maybe when they take on UP again. Perhaps when they take on DLSU again, because I believe DLSU NU is the first matchup for both teams also in the second round, assuming we're following the
Such a
same
much watch.
format.
Sayang, it just started so early. Like,
Oh my
come on,
God.
man. Why? Put it in the end.
But yeah. Okay, so next question. What's your question next for our first round review?
Will LaSalle be able to fix its habit of starting slow?
Hmm.
Will it come back? Will it come back to bite them? Is it a valid question? Because in UE, pero this time they really were able to bounce back. Diba they were down in the first half against UE. So merong shades of, oh my God, it's happening again. It's the Remogo 2.0 game again. But they were so composed in the third, they were able to catch up,
Yeah.
and ultimately, so far, and parang yun, yung question na yun, will LaSalle be able to fix that kind of issue?
See, that's a game LaSalle would have lost last season. That game against
That's
UE.
yeah, that's a game they would have lost last season.
1,000%. They need to play Raven Cortez more. That's
Oh, will we
they
see more Raven Cortez?
they
Will we?
need to. They need to. Because the thing I like about Raven, first of all, yung chemistry niya with KQ is very good. I like
Ganda
how
no?
those two play with each
Mesh
other.
sila. Mesh.
Exactly. Now, if you play KQ and Raven together as your front line, you're going to be undersized against other teams with FSAs, right?
Yeah.
I want to see them play KQ, Raven, and Mike or Bright. I just want to see how it works.
Wait, what? KQ,
KQ, Raven, and then
and
Mike or
Mike?
Bright. Diba? I mean,
Oh,
spacing could
interesting,
work because
This-
KQ hits threes.
Si KQ ilalagay mo sa perimeter.
Yeah.
Because Raven naman can do middies, right?
And
Raven can do
KQ,
middies.
KQ plays in the perimeter naman talaga even when he's the 4 or the
Okay.
5, diba?
So parang Mike will be your
And
5.
that, you know what I like about Raven is he's a big who doesn't need to be underneath the rim to score. He has that floater game. He's crafty around the rim, and he's an underrated shot blocker. He's tall, he's long, he's not like super fast or speedy, but he's quick on his feet. So he can move his feet quickly. Maganda yung positioning niya. I think Raven Cortez needs to play more minutes. This is his second season in LaSalle. He has been through injuries, yes, but looks like he's recovering. Hopefully he stays healthy.
And yung stats niya pala, by the way, Nav, in 13 minutes lang yun. 13, 14?
You
Let me
see?
check.
Yeah.
I know it's super konti lang. He
Right.
didn't play a lot.
Like-
Magic bunot nila si Raven eh.
Like there's this super talented
13.
guy. Exactly. 30 and how many? He had like what 18 and 5, diba?
18, 5, and 3 blocks.
Oh, you see? I mean, they need to use this guy more. He's good. They need to use Abada more, in my opinion, too. He's good now. He can be on and off
I'm
sometimes.
on the Abadam train. We need more of
Exactly.
EJ Abadam.
Now, look, I like Joaquin Manuel. He's a nice guy. And he's a good guy. Great person. Okay? His teammates like him. His coaches like him. And there's a reason why. It's because he can be a good leader. He knows how to get along with people. But then there are times where the other guys also in the team might need to have the opportunity to show what they're capable of too. And I'm sure Waki wouldn't mind allowing some of his teammates to get the opportunity to help the team as well. Right? Like, I like some of the minutes from JC Makalalag recently. I like the
Yeah.
Abada minutes sometimes. I like the Raven Cortez minutes. You're not gonna pull out Nelly and you're not gonna
Nell,
pull
this
out
minutes-
KQ because those are your two main those are the two fulcrums of your team, right? It rotates around them. Mark Nonoy, he's Mark Nonoy, right? He's going to take and make bad shots. He's going to make gambles on defense that sometimes will
Yeah.
be really bad, but sometimes will really pay off. But
Double-edged sword.
he is who he is at this point, right? Now, my one last comment about LaSalle is I really wish DJ Mitchell was in this team. Deron Mitchell.
You are still on your DJ Mitchell train.
Nico, if this guy was playing, he'd be
I
averaging.
haven't seen him. To be honest, I haven't seen him. That's why I can't relate.
He'd
But
be
ikaw, iba yun.
averaging an easy 12, 13 points a game. Like that game against UP goes to a
He could have
1-3-1
changed
zone.
the tide.
Yes, he's a shooter. And that's what this team needs, another knockdown shooter.
Where is he? UST?
No. He's back in the States because he has a back injury.
Oh yeah, your injury. Yeah. Who's the
Yeah.
one in UST from LaSalle? Jeremy?
Robinson, yeah. Jeremy
Yes, si
Robinson.
Robinson. Okay, yun. Kaya ako
By-
nalito.
By the way, UST might have lost one recruit. Just saying.
Kailan mo re-release yan? This week?
Let's see. But let's see if when I can release it, I'll release it. You know
Anyway,
that. No?
DJ Mitchell?
Yeah, DJ Mitchell.
Mitchell. Go ahead.
He played D1, NCAA D1. Okay, he would have been a one and done player. Played NCAA D1, and his main skill is shooting. And that's what this team needs, another shooter, a knockdown shooter that they can rely on. Although I will say, it is a good sign that Policarpio has had some moments recently. So if he can improve in the second round, that could be very helpful because he's another guy who moves really well for a guy who's tall and long. Let's see what LaSalle has in store for everyone in the second round of the UAP
Eh,
season.
not sure if sa'yo ko narinig yun, but Coach Topex let Coach Kaloy coach.
Yeah, he did. So,
You think it's gonna be an issue going forward?
nah, I
Nah.
don't think
May
so.
pecking order din sila di ba?
I
Na
think it'll be
alam nila.
fine. They're 4-3. Their 3 losses have been to Ateneo, UP, and NU. So
At
right
least
now,
hindi yung sa bottom
well, right now
tier right
that's who
now.
they are. Like at a certain point, teams are who they tell us they are, right? LaSalle's a team that can beat the lower ranked squads of the UAP. And right now they're having a hard time winning games against the higher ranked teams in the
Yeah.
UAP. Now, if you're a LaSalle fan and you're looking for the positive side of it, they led UP in the first half, and at halftime, they were up 9 against Ateneo in the third quarter. They were leading NU by 3 points before the shot by U that tied it and sent it to overtime. They're still having their free throw problems like they do every single season, but let's see if that's going to change. All right.
Pakilan Lasal sa free throw percentage? I wanna know.
let's check that real quick.
It's a good question. Pakilan Lasal?
Okay,
Are we gonna
LaSalle.
dispel the myth or
free free throw. They are third to last.
third to last? Pwede na. I expected worse. Pwede na. I thought
Yeah.
second to the last. Pero ano yung gap nila sa second to the last and last? Medyo malayo. Or sucks lang?
Sucks lang. Sucks lang.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not so bad. Okay. Now, we've talked about the 4 main teams that we think are contenders, right? I think right now I would say UP, NU, bona fide contenders. Ateneo, LaSalle, semi-contenders. Ateneo trending in the right direction. LaSalle, promising signs. So that's my top 4 right now. Let's look at the bottom 4 of the league.
Here we go. That's the real challenge right there.
So
Actually, Adamson muna. I think Adamson's fifth.
Adamson. I think it's Adamson. I think it's UE,
Okay.
FEU, UST.
Walang contest. That's gonna be mine as well. Wala.
Yeah.
Wala tayo.
Yeah.
Hindi tayo.
So, sayang yung UE because Gerard
Gerard
Wilson gets hurt.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's a significant loss for them because he gave them another playmaker aside from Remogat. So it's not just Remogat every game.
Naging off
Momoway.
ball si Noy. So he can di ba?
Mm-mm.
It's nice to see Remogat become the off ball. Wilson to be the ball handler. Try to create something.
Although Remogat 13 assists against LaSalle on Saturday. So
really? Oh, I didn't see. I was too focused on Raven Cortez during that day. During that game.
That's a good sign.
13 assists.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So shout out to Remogat for that. Then Adamson, of course, look. I like how the young guys are stepping up. Montebon, Erolon, knockdown shooter.
Here's my last question before we end this.
Go
Do
lang.
we still let Jerome come back?
Yes.
Nakita niya na, pabalikin mo. Kasi there's something to come back for.
Assuming it's health approved. You know what I'm saying?
We assume na health approved.
Assuming there's no long-term. Yeah.
Because they're in a good place.
Adamson is 3-4, diba? And if you look at their games, they got blown out against UP. Okay, fine. They got blown out against LaSalle. Okay, fine. LaSalle had a crazy hot third quarter.
Yeah, 23-0, 22-0.
Basta
20 plus
23-0, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe so.
23-0.
And then ironically, the next game, the same thing happened to LaSalle. 19-0 run by UP. But then, they beat Ateneo at the buzzer. Comeback win yun, diba? Ateneo was up big early. Adamson comes back, wins
That's
the
crazy.
game.
Sakit sa ulo nun. Napapanood ko sa bahay. What the hell is happening here?
Magbuhos. They were playing NU close game against NU. In fact, they were leading NU by double digit at one point pa nga eh. FEU, they were also in a close game against FEU. UE, they were in a close game against UE. They pulled it out. UST, they were in a close game. So basically, there's a trend
They
here,
love
right?
close games. They love
their
games.
close games. So if they're 3-4 and they've played all these close games, now let's say hypothetically Jerome was playing in those close games. What's the record right now? Are they 4-3? Probably. Are they 5-2? Maybe.
Pwede din.
Considering all the close games they were in. Because may talent sa team eh. Sabandal, Montebon,
Baby boy.
Erolon, Joshua Yero,
Manzano. Baby
Cedric
boy.
Manzano. My God, that guy's gonna be a good pro. Cedric
Yeah.
Manzano.
Wait, ilang years mo ba si Sid?
It wouldn't surprise me if this is his last season. I mean,
Is it?
the,
I don't know. You have to
I don't know for
confirm.
a fact, but I'm just saying it wouldn't
Hindi ko
surprise
alam.
me because if he declares for the draft, I think he'd be drafted. Kasi
First round. Or
depends
second?
sa combine. Second, maybe
Depende.
second. Depende
Okay,
sa
sige.
combine. Depende sa combine. Who else? Who else has been stepping up for them? So Yero, again, Yero, Montebon, Erolon, Sabandal, Manzano, Vince Magbuhos has been like a solid glue guy for the roster. So if you had Jerome there, that's a Final Four caliber team, right? That's a team that could be playing for a playoff for number 4. Could be
Dami
playing
nilang
the number
gwardiya.
1 seed. Oo,
Dami nilang
and they
gwardiya.
have
Tapos babalik si
shooting yan.
Jerome.
Now,
Mawawala ng minutes si Monty.
the
Feel
thing
ko.
with their team is they rely on their jump shots a
They
lot.
are.
Diba?
They
They're
are.
not really a team na attack, get to the free throw line, score, penetration. Because also Ojerique, who had a good game against NU in fairness to him, but hasn't exactly been solid this season, right? He's been up and down. But if Jerome comes back, you add a closer, you add another solid guard. Now, some might say, okay, pero sobra na kayo, dami yung guards, then someone's gonna lose minutes. But I like the potential. Why not, right? If the knee is fine and there won't be long-term damage,
Sige.
and you show everyone that guys outside of Jerome can contribute, why not? Why not see how it goes?
Okay. Those are my questions. I'm done. Yun yung mga ano ko for first. I don't think we're gonna have more as the season progresses.
And
actually, dapat tayo questions pero baka tumagal tayo till 2 a.m. I think we can keep this up till 3, but
oh my God,
we're
yeah.
both getting sick already.
We'll do a end of season mega pod.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah,
That's
that should
gonna
be
be fun.
has to be in person.
Oh, for sure.
I have equipment. We can set up.
Ayun.
We can set up there.
Perfect.
I have equipment.
Perfect. So UST, I do wanna say I like Christian Manaytay. Ang ganda ng pinapakita niya. I think Migs Panghilinan is
Shooter.
becoming a reliable shooter, di ba?
Oh.
Contested shooter and maker. Pedro Harencho's reactions during the games are the funniest.
It's gold.
Golden. Sobrang golden. Ivan Kalum. Solid.
Yeah, Ivan Kalum.
And of course, Nick Cabanero, one of a kind. I don't think they're gonna play with Faye anymore this season. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
And sayang because I think they could have lined up Peter Osang this season.
Pwede na pala siya?
I think they could have. I'm not sure. Pero I'll have to double check. But still, papasok siya next season. Coming in with Fordsky. Coming in with Kyle Paranada.
CJ Lane? Is CJ Lane still with UST?
Chase Lane or CJ Lane?
So, sino ba? Sino bang lane? Basta one of the lanes.
I believe next season, yes. So, let's see. Because there's a lot of talent there on the way to UST. There's a lot of talent in the team right now. And they just need a big man to be solid. Kind of like a FEU, di ba? Muhammad Fati isn't great, but it's clear they need him. And FEU will, be in games where they compete and push Ateneo and UP to the limit. But they will also be in games where they're suddenly trailing UST by 10 points. They're up
Never
and
came
down.
back. Never came back.
Yeah.
They were been down the whole game. Di na sila recover ng fourth.
Yeah. And it's almost as if...
Wild. Ano to? What's happening here?
It's almost as if you never just know what you're going to get from FEU. Are you going to get the team that can push any other opponent to the limit? Or are you going to get the team that doesn't play with a sense of urgency?
I
right?
feel like that loss was what nailed them to not making the Final Four.
It's tough. Because they're 2-5 right now.
Wala na.
And number 4 is, well, let's just say they would need the teams on top of them to also mess up a little bit.
Yeah.
Diba?
But leaving too much faith on the others is not a good sign.
Yeah.
Nakasakasay ba? Wala na yan.
Mahirap, mahirap.
Oh.
Also, I just want to clarify because we've said in this podcast before that we're not sure if Francis Lopez is eligible for Rookie of the Year
Oh yeah.
because you need
Are
to
you
be
gonna
straight
clarify
out of
that?
high school. What I heard was he actually is straight out of high school.
So pwede.
Now, I believe pwede siya, eligible siya for Rookie of the Year. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably leading the race right now. The statistical points. We'll know
He is?
more.
Oh yeah. Even after this game?
Might be. As we're recording this,
Okay, okay.
might be. So we'll have to double check that. Of course, let's not forget games won by your team is huge bonus points. I think Mason is gonna make that race interesting in the second round if he keeps
Magka-top 3 na
getting
siguro
minutes.
siya.
Yeah.
After kanina sana. Hopefully.
My Rookie of the Year pick, SJ Moore. I doubt that's
Wala tayo
happening.
dun. Sobrang
Wala na.
baling-bali tayo dun. Sobrang baling-bali tayo dun.
He's not
Hindi
getting
nga
minutes.
pinasok kanina eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
Grabe.
Not 1 second, hindi siya pinasok.
I guess SJ Moore is maybe a
Getting there.
year or
Getting
two
used to.
away.
Yeah.
Needs, and with Manaytay and Cabanero there, he's not also gonna get the ball a lot yet, right? Because those are the vets of the team. I mean,
Tapos
not
papasok pa si na Paranada, Fortsky,
Oh,
and Lane.
exactly, yeah.
Osang
But I think there could be a role for him as like an energy guy.
stopper. He could maybe work on defense
On
muna.
defense, yes.
Yeah.
If he can be a defensive kind of player, hustle player, multiple possessions, you create multiple opportunities kind of guy, then why not, right? But yeah, I think it's gonna come down to Mason or Francis. I believe MVP race right now is probably
Malik.
Malik because of the
Lagi naman
stats.
si
Yes.
Malik, yeah.
We'd have to double check. KQ is definitely making a run. I mean, he had
It's close ba? It's close ba? KQ and Malik.
would have to double check, but KQ he had a near triple double, right? So those stats are gonna go up. Evan is probably gonna be there. Someone from NU, maybe Baklaan.
Kai, Balungay is maybe
Balungay.
top 5 with after the first round. Top 5, top 7.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
Wait.
pwede.
So there's a Twitter account at Johan999, and he usually posts this stuff. He computes it himself, statistical points, who's leading the race.
Yun na ba yung
He
bagong Alba?
I don't think okay, so yung last post, he does it for women's basketball also. So
Nice.
kudos to him. So his last post was October 19 after Wednesday's games. And at that point, leader was Malik Diouf at number 1, Kevin Kembao 2, Nelly number 3, Remogat 4, LJ Gonzalez 5, and then Francis Lopez 7, Balungay 6. This is the MVP SP race. Kian Baclan 8, Precious Mamuay 9, Nick Cabanero 9 also, tied silang dalawa for 9 and 10. So let's see how much that has changed since the games over the weekend took place. But I'm guessing it's going to be still Malik number 1. And yes,
Yeah.
KQ is definitely making a run because he's compiling stats. He's playing great. He's shooting. There are some games it's going good. Some games it's a little bit, maybe off. But he's still contributing, rebounding, passing. And I think KQ's going to have a good second round also.
As he should. So MVP candidate.
Yep.
And we already know what he can do.
Exactly. All right. So before we call it a wrap here, Nico, and to our listeners, by the way, sorry if this podcast episode is a little more sabog than usual. Safe to say,
It's fun. It's fun.
it is.
Come on,
We're just
sorry.
having fun.
Oh.
But okay, before we call it a wrap, what are you looking forward to the most? Round 2.
Oh shoot. Round 2? This is such a tough question. Maybe USD getting some more wins. There you go.
That would be fun. I would
That
like
would be fun.
USD to get
USD
a few
to get
more
more
wins.
wins. Sarap
Diba?
naman. Yeah. Make it interesting. Guluhin pa nila yung standings.
Exactly. Because
Yo, USD over UP. What are the odds?
oh,
What are the odds of
that
that
would
happening?
be. Oh, Twitter would go crazy if that happens.
That's what I want to happen. Not saying that I'm against UP. I would just want to see the UAAP explode.
By the way, NBA is starting this week as well.
Yes,
So
Tuesday. Tuesday
yes.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, so very exciting times ahead. All right, and now let's see what the schedule shows, because if Wednesday UP Ateneo kaagad yan. My
Oh, I
God.
Man, it's gonna be crazy. But I'm like, oh, medyo umay. Kasi it just, diba? Or it feels like a finals game. Kung ganun. Finals series. Kasi game 1.
Correct.
Ngayon, game 2, Wednesday. Diba?
Correct. And interesting to see what would happen if both teams face each other right away, considering the intensity of Sunday night's game.
Oh, yeah.
It would almost feel like a playoff series to some degree.
Finals. Parang final series. Diba?
Parang, yeah. And considering how many times these two teams face each other last season, again, I know the players of each team is different, but the rivalry is there, the intensity is there, the crowd, the passion, the just everything. This is the best rivalry in the UAP today.
Today.
Like,
Good thing you said today. But if you
with
said it, it'll top
ever,
Ateneo
no,
Lasal.
no,
Hindi
no,
pa. Malayo
never.
pa. It will take
Malayo pa.
years.
Like, with all due respect to Ateneo versus LaSalle, which is special in its own right, the hard truth is LaSalle has not made it competitive enough to be a legit rivalry as of right now.
Sadly.
It's been a one-sided rivalry. Now,
Agree.
can that change? Maybe. But before I say that, I need to see LaSalle win, not just like one time, once in a blue moon, and actually like, play even with Ateneo. But right now, UP Ateneo, they're going at each other.
It's 1A,
Right?
1B so
You
far.
feel it too. You feel it. Something in the air,
Iba.
the energy, the players, the intensity. This is a rivalry.
Hindi ka makahinga kanina eh.
And to those saying, oh, hindi pa to rivalry, UP only has, one championship, 36. You know what? Rivalries aren't just how many times each school won, right? It's about what happens when both of you are going against each other in the court. Pag naaasar ka by someone from the other team online and nagsasagutan kayo, and you know that there's clear animosity there from over like years of battles, that's a rivalry. And the Battle of Katipunan is as good a
Alive and well.
rivalry as there is right now.
Yes.
Nico, anything you want to plug? Anything coming up on your podcast?
So I do my post-game shows, the 6-month podcast. It's usually always a day after the game. So tomorrow I'm going live again at 10 a.m. with Gab, Varsity Lifestyle Co-People. Use my code VLC Nico for a 5% discount. Look at that. So, ayun. So, yung post-game show ko, it's a live stream and people can comment real time and we respond to it. And it's the same vibe as this na sobrang lokohan talaga. Sometimes we try to be as formal as we want to, but sometimes the inner fan in us comes out, which is fun, diba? It's how the podcast is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yun lang naman. That's all I want to promote. And you're gonna see me anything UAP, basta basketball, Pilipinas, Gilas, I'm gonna be there. Navs gonna be there when we can, when our sked meshes. But yeah, that's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well,
And
Nico,
I'm getting sick. We have to get rested. We have to
yes,
rest
sir.
by Wednesday.
Get some rest, Nico. Thanks for joining me tonight, man. I know it was super late, but I appreciate it. And I can't wait for the rest of the UAP season. A lot more to happen. I'm
Yes,
certain
more
of it. I
craziness.
feel like the first round was awesome. I think the second round is gonna be just as awesome, and we're gonna have a great Final Four, great finals, just in time for the Christmas holiday season. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.